Today's gospel, Jesus sends, first he's called the disciples, 12 of whom he will name apostles. He calls them, they are with him for their instruction and for them to get to know who Jesus is, and then he sends them out. But they aren't finished in the school of discipleship. You know, they won't finish until they have experienced the risen Lord. They're still in the process of deepening their faith and understanding what it is to be a disciple. You know, we might think of for ourselves that, I will get a little bit more involved once I do this course, once I, have this other experience, once, I get all my ducks in a row. Jesus has called the disciples. They're not yet finished. They've gotten to know him. They've listened to his instruction, witnessed his miracles, but he sends them out and they're still fresh. But he sends them out with authority. This authority is given in spite of our limitations. God has put into our hearts and into our hands divine power. You can forgive. You can love. You don't need to wait until you get a diploma to live this and to share this divine power that Jesus gives to his disciples. He gives them others. They can cure illness. They can expel demons. They are to preach the kingdom of God is at hand. We don't have to be finished with everything before we move in the field of being the disciple that Christ has called us. Today we celebrate the feast of Saint Maria Goretti, a young girl of 12 years old who was martyred. Yet before she took her final breath, she forgave the man who attacked her. It's amazing, upon the powerless, God gives such strength, gives them such insight, gives them such boldness that they can live the faith in ways that many times the powerful refused to enter. What do we need before we put into practice the gifts that God has given us, particularly to show mercy, to forgive, and to love? We don't need a graduation party. We don't need to buy new clothes. We don't need to study another class or buy another book. God has given us this strength today.